Hello and welcome to this first new style review by Mega Train Lover. The first 3 episodes will be done today, tomorrow, and on the 26th, Boxing Day. This is the first episode, and these will all be done on my Christmas present. Re-reviews on my other trains will start from the 12th of January, and the current reviews will be deleted on the 2nd of January. So there's a warning. But anyway, I decided to start off with my favourite Christmas present, and as you can see, it's a Hornby locomotive. It's a National Railway Museum special edition, and it is the Duchess of Hamilton, an absolutely gorgeous locomotive. Just turn to the side. Its product code is R3101. It's an LMS, which is obviously the London, Midland and Scottish Railway. 462, so that's the wheel configuration. So there's four wheels at the front, 6 wheels in the middle, which are driving wheels, and there's 2 wheels at the back. And it's a Coronation class locomotive, number 6229, Duchess of Hamilton, and it's DCC ready. However, I already DCC'd her, and she's out of the box, so there's nothing in the box. But it's just a standard Hornby box. There's nothing special about it. But before we get onto the locomotive, we just have a look around the box. So on the side, you get a very nice picture of the model from the side, and on the top you get a nice picture of the model, like a bird's eye view. But at the back, look, there is tons of information about the Duchess of Hamilton. So it was designed by William Stanier, who was the chief mechanical engineer for the LMS. I'll just wait for the camera to focus, if it can. I think it's focused. So it was designed by William Stanier, and it was built in Crewe in 1938, and it was they were considered the most revered, which I don't know what it means, but it probably means considered. They were revered as the most powerful steam locomotives ever to run in Britain. And they were a stunning representation of Art Deco opulence and representative of modern machinery of the age. And also says how the once streamlined Duchess of Hamilton was unrecognisable upon withdrawal in February 1964, after having its streamlined casing removed in 1947. That was basically because what British Rail decided to do was, because with the streamlining, it was quite hard to maintain the locomotive, so therefore they had to remove the streamline to make maintenance easier. That was BR's policy of standardisation, hence why they built the standard classes, which were obviously easier to maintain, and they had to obviously do the same on the A4s. Well, they didn't de-streamline the A4s, but they removed sort of like the side valances on the A4s, which covered part of the wheels. But they removed those during World War II of the A4s, and they were never reinstated in service. When Duchess of Hamilton was withdrawn, it was placed as a static exhibit in Butlins at Minehead, which is at the northern end of the West Somerset Railway, and it was returned to the mainline in 1980. In 2009, it was restored at Tyseley to a streamlined form to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the Coronation. I think it was in 2008. Yeah, I think she was restored in 2008. And she can be seen at the National Railway Museum in York, and she is one gorgeous locomotive. I went to the NRM in September, and my word, she is a gorgeous locomotive. And this model by Hornby is no exception. There's also a little bit of information on the National Rail Museum. Basically just advertisement. Like, experience the incredible story of the train as you've never seen or heard of it before. Get close up to the A4 Mallard, the fastest steam locomotive in the world. Marvel at Stephenson's rocket, Eurostar and the Super Sleek bullet train, plus much more. Embark on a journey of discovery at the National Rail Museum, York. So yeah, but anyway, enough chit chat. Let's get on to the locomotive, which is right here, and what an absolutely gorgeous locomotive it is. Now, first of all, we'll start with detail. Just look at this model. Oh my god, she is absolutely beautiful. Just look at the wheels, look at all the coupling connecting rods, how beautifully well modelled they are. And there's her name, Duchess of Hamilton, number 6229. You get rivets all the way along the body and all the way along here, along the gold stripes. And I just love the livery. The livery really is striking. I just love this maroon colour with with 4 gold stripes, just running along the length of the locomotive and also the length of the tender. And at the front of the locomotive, they just all come together in a V shape, and they all come together at that lamp iron there, the middle one. And lamp irons are very nice. You get them on each buffer and in the middle, just next to those 2 footsteps there which stick out. You get a nice ladder here, and a brake pipe and coupling. And you also get these handles to open up the fronts to gain access to the smoke box, because basically it opens up. How it opens up is that there's a line here in the middle, in real life, and what they do is that they grab these and they just pull them out, and basically the front of the engine opens up like a butterfly, like the butterfly's wings. If I just show you on the box the real life picture of the Duchess of Hamilton, you can just about see where that handle is, that line going down. That is where it opens up. So it opens up like that. Think of a butterfly's wings, how those open up. And if we're at the front, we always have to mention there are sprung buffers. That's really nice. Let's just wait for the camera to focus. Oh, come on. Just move to the... Oh, there we go. And you get tons of rivets all holding the streamlined casing together. There's rivets all the way along the top of the locomotive. There's a very nice handrail running along both sides. Get a very nice chimney there. The front bogie loves to just move about, so I have to be careful with it. So yeah, but the detail on this is, as you can see, is absolutely fantastic. Just above there it says there's the builder's plate, and if I distinctly remember from my visit to the NRM, it says LMS, and it was built, it says Crew 1938, which is where was it built in? No, it was built in 1938. And this also visited, it doesn't mention on the box, it doesn't, but this one, Duchess of Hamilton, actually went to the USA. What they did was she was disguised as number 6220 Coronation, which was the first member of the class. So what they did was that they repainted her in Coronation's livery, which is basically blue with silver stripes, and they took her over to the USA with matching coaches. And then, but but because of World War II, she didn't return until 1942. And she was of course withdrawn in 1964 and put back to mainline steam in 1980. But currently she's on static display at York, although at this very moment she's in Shildon for the winter season, but she'll be back in York after the winter season. But anyway, let's continue with the detail. So as you can see, there's the washout plugs for the boiler. You get a very nice safety valve. The safety valves are these 4 gold dots, if you want to call it that way, dots on the cab roof, and the whistle is this. That's the whistle. The cab roof vent doesn't open, but that's okay. It's I suppose you can't have everything. Right. The cab is fairly well detailed. It's not painted, but it is there, which is really nice. You can see the regulator, which is that long bar on the boiler backhead, and you can clearly see the firebox just there. And yeah, and you get very nice handrails on the cab at the back of the cab as well. And there's a connection to the tender. There's the car taxi wheel set. What also comes with the model are the flanged car taxi wheel sets. So if you want to put this on display, then you can replace them. But if you have train set curves like me, then I don't recommend them, because the locomotive will just keep derailing. What also comes is a spare bogie with larger wheels, which I think are like the prototypical wheels. These are standard. These are standard. I have tried to run this locomotive on the larger wheels, and it does work. It does work on second and third radius curves, but for now let's just use this bogie. Anyway, so the other side is just as nice. You get very nice handrail. Duchess of Hamilton. You get the builder's plate there again. On the classification of this locomotive, if the camera can focus, yeah, just underneath the gold stripe it says 7P, which is obviously the power class for this locomotive. So it was obviously a very powerful locomotive. But anyway, I think that's enough on the locomotive, and now let's move on to the tender. And the detail doesn't stop on the locomotive. Oh no, it carries on to the tender. You can see get the place where the coal comes out, and obviously the fireman grabs the shovel and shovels the coal out of there into the firebox of the locomotive to make all the fire. And also the water's carried in the tender as usual. And I love this tender. I mean, I think that this tender is very interesting, where the streamlining continues some slightly beyond the actual body of the tender. This is just a standard Stanier tender, but with the streamlining. And I love how at the back where the streamlining is angled, as you can see. It says LMS, obviously London, Midland and Scottish Railway. There's the pin which goes into the tender connection just there. Again, you get sprung buffers, and the couplings are NEM, so you can pull this out and replace it with one of your own. And there's also the brake pipe there to hook up to the coaches. So basically it is important, because if it's coupled to coaches, then the vacuum pipe has to be also connected to the coaches, because the vacuum pipe, basically, if that's not connected, then the brakes on the coaches will not work. So that is very essential. If it's on its own, then obviously there's no need for it. And you get a very nice ladder there to climb up for the fireman to climb up and then open up the water filler cap, which is just there, as you can see, just there. What it also says just next to the brake pipe is 4,000. It's a 4,000 gallon tender, which is obviously essential because these trains, you know, obviously ran right up to Scotland from London, and they ran very fast trains, so they needed lots of water to keep them going. There's also rivets just above the axle boxes, and I love how the axle boxes were actually painted to stand out, because it'd be quite, you know, it wouldn't look very nice if they were just left the same color as the actual molding. So it's nice how they actually painted them out, painted them to stand out. Underneath there's not much to look at except for the brake rods, which I fitted myself on both the tender and the locomotive. I think that's it. I think we should now just look at the locomotive run. So first of all, here's the locomotive. Isn't she amazing? But now let's see her run. So here we are at the track, as you can see, and the Duchess of Hamilton is just here. Now we'll start with putting on the tender first. So it's very easy. It's only got 6 wheels, so it's easy to put on. So let's just roll that back, and let's now put the locomotive on. As you can see, the front bogie loves to move about, so just be careful. But as you can see, it's already on, and the locomotive wheels are now on, the driving wheels. Let's hook it, couple it up to the tender. There we go. So here she is in all her glory. Absolutely beautiful. So let's plug the DCC controller in, and let's select her number, which is number 25, and off she goes. Wow, just look at that. I mean, she is running so beautifully. Wow. I mean, she's very smooth. She's having no problems at all dealing with the curves. Well, it is third radius curves after all, which is better than second, which are these. Wow. So let's just see her pass, and let's get a few shots of her passing. So. Yeah, she may not have been cheap, but she's worth every single penny. Wow. I'm really proud to have her on my layout. She's a very nice addition to the fleet. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. And here she comes. So the Duchess of Hamilton is a very gorgeous locomotive, but it's just one thing she needs. Coaches. As you can see, I've got 3 LMS coaches which do suit her very well. Let's just couple them up to her. So here she comes. Oh, slow down, slow down, slow down. Right, so let's just see her. There we go. So this is what she looks like with the coaches. Wow. She looks just like a typical LMS Express of the 1930s. But let's see how well she can pull them. Wow. And just look at that. She's pulling it with absolutely no trouble at all. Of course, it's only a small train, but she's handling it very nice, but very well. Let's just see her pass again. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. In conclusion, I can only sum this video up by 3 words. Buy her now. Seriously, just if you have the money, just get her. You will not be disappointed at all. She is so gorgeous and so beautiful. Wow. Absolutely amazing. I'm really proud to have her. As she passes, I say goodbye. Thanks for watching and goodbye.